I think it's very important for people to try to take the time in their gardens to add some water features. This one's a solar one, so it just goes on when the sun comes up. So is my angel back there. See the solar pole? It goes on when the sun comes up. Now this is electric. And as I'm walking through, this one's electric too. This is the first one I got. I want to remind people, because I've brought this up in many of my other videos. When you bring birds into the garden, you will eliminate, I'm going to say 50 to 80% of your insect problem, your pest problems. They don't seem to eat too many of the beneficial insects. I don't see them touch ladybugs and other insects like that. But they will go in and work your vegetable plants, your flowers even. If you're growing flowers and not growing vegetables, they will work the plants all day. Now, of course, I just stood up. I had my coffee here this morning, and I stood up, so a lot of the birds took off and they're in the trees. But sitting here, I had hundreds of birds come in to use the water fountains. They, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. They took baths. They've been drinking. They've come in groups. A lot of the goldfinches come in. They look like they're young ones still sticking together, after they have fledged. And they'll work in groups and come in and have their water and take their baths. And then they dive into the plants. And my husband was sitting here with me and said he just saw one come and grab a worm, a little worm, caterpillar under one of the colored leaves. This is what you want. I can prove, and I have proved, how birds work. And I'll show you what happened with my sprouting broccoli here. So as you can see, what I wanted to do was collect some seeds from my sprouting broccoli, and I have to cover it with tooling so the birds won't eat the seeds, because they will eat the seeds. And when I went and uncovered it, this was a while ago, look at all the bugs that were on there and the insects and the aphids. It was amazing. Everywhere else on the plant, it was clean because of all the birds. But where I covered it and the birds could not get to it, the insects just covered the plant. They were going to eat the plant because they were protected from the birds. Birds are your best friend. You really need birds in the garden. And this is proof that birds are doing their job. When I covered it, I ended up with aphids. And there's another one in there, little insect eaters. Look at that. That's an insect eater. Look how beautiful. But, they cleaned off the plants. And this is what you want. I'm going to say that when we added in the first water feature that year, it made a tremendous difference. I mean, I was going nuts like a lot of people go nuts. We had... I just love watching the birds. And they don't even care I'm standing right here. We had so many insects. I just had to, sorry. Trying to get that bird. There we go. I had to think of what I was going to buy and what I was going to spray, and was it organic? And it was terrible the first year I started gardening, because I didn't know what was safe and not safe. We had hundreds of tomato hornworms that I was dealing with. I really gave up on tomatoes. I didn't even want to grow tomatoes after that. My husband got himself a black light so he can come out at night and collect hornworms. Now the birds come in and they will eat all the tiny hornworms. They don't like them when they're big, but I will say that the Orioles will take them when they're big. We've seen them. The Orioles will grab them and tear them up and feed them to their babies. So you really want to try to get a water feature in. It really will make a big difference in your garden. The hummingbirds will come in and then they'll pollinate your flowers that are blooming. You'll have like that little songbird, they're insect eaters. They'll come in and they'll stay all day and they'll work and work in your garden. Look at that. I'm going to see if I can show you this tree. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this. Because you... Oh, and there's the gardeners across the hill. But look at this. Okay, it's hard to show you, but the tree is full of goldfinches. And they're waiting for me because I'm standing right in front of the fountains here to leave. And they want to all come down. And they've been coming all morning, so there's hundreds. But here I'll show you on the broccoli. But where I covered it and the birds could not get to it, the insects just covered the plant. Solid proof that the birds are doing their job. So try to get some sort of water feature in there. Moving water is always better than non-moving water. If you can get something in there like this that moves, and if you don't want to, use electricity, or you can't get electricity to it, then get yourself some solar panel ones. They're cheap. You can find them online from $10. Some of the garden places have them. I went to a nursery, and I was surprised. I walked in and they were selling them. And they're like, at a nursery, they're like $20. Online, they're like $10. And they work quite well. Again, the sun's got to come out. But that's okay, because here's the deal. Once you set it up, and for the solar ones, you need anything. You can have just a bowl of water with some rocks in it and drop in the pump, and it's solar and it will do its own thing. Once the birds come to it and know it's there, even when it's not running, they will continue to come back, even when it's not running, because they know it's there. They're used to it. And when it runs, they prefer when it's running, but they will come back when it's not running because they know it's there. They're used to it. So don't worry if the sun's not out and the birds don't know the water's there, because they know it when it's running, and then they know, they're creatures of habit. They will come back and check it out and use their water as they need it. So get some water features in there, and I think you're going to find a tremendous difference as far as insects. We use nothing anymore in our garden. Of course, we're going to find some here and there, but nothing anymore that bothers us in any way. I mean, look at my broccoli. It's clean and beautiful. There's not a bug on the broccoli. Same thing with my kale. The kale is just gorgeous. I mean, everything. And there's very little on the collard, but I've got collard all through here. Look at that giant collard back there. But they will go in there, the birds. It's cute. They get under the leaves and hang in there and really pick the dickens out of them. It's amazing. So try to get something set up. Like I said, if you don't have electricity, get yourself a solar one. You've got some that just sit in a bowl and they spin. It's so cute. They just shoot water around and they spin because they have the little tiny solar panels on the top. And then there's the other one that's got a little panel like I've got that's sitting on top of that stick there. So you can get, there's a couple different types. They're under $20. And you use your own bowl for those. And you can use anything. And, they're not going to just jump in a bowl of water. So throw some rocks in there or something. And then don't worry about it. And the birds will love it. They'll find it. They'll use it. And even when when it's not running, they know it's there. Look at all the birds. I mean, come on. This is just too fun. See if I can zoom in. Now, you've got to tell me that's amazing. I just love sitting here in the morning. I mean, do you see how many birds are on there? And I'm standing right here. I'm like 10 feet from it. Look at that. This is just so beautiful. So besides me feeding tons of hummingbirds, which I do, I don't even want to talk about that. I have to go to the store and get sugar. It's on sale. The holidays are coming, so they've got sugar on sale for under $2 a bag. Last year I went to the grocery store and I bought 100 bags of sugar. The girl asked me, what in the world are you doing with it? I told her I'm trying to become a diabetic. She looked at me, and then I told her it was for hummingbirds, and I'm almost out. And I still have bought bags in between during the year, but they had them for 99 cents a bag. Now they've got them for $1.50, so I gotta go get some. But that's for the hummingbirds. That's a whole different video. But this is about water features. And this is what it's all about. And these birds are seed and insect eaters. Now I will say, and I have to see if I can get a video this spring, when they're raising their babies here, the goldfinches, the parents have taught them that Swiss chard tastes good. And they'll land on the young Swiss chard and other greens, and they actually eat greens. We watched them peck holes in the newly growing leaves because their parents taught them that the little fresh leaves coming out on the top, the baby leaves, taste better. So then my plants grow with holes all over. And we've seen them do this. But that's okay. I grow so much, I'm more than happy to share with them. Look at that. I mean, look how many there are. And there's the tree next to me. I'm not going to swing the camera over because they'll all leave. Is full. Just full of goldfinches and other birds. They're all waiting to come in and have their water in the morning. They drink. They take their baths. This goes on for hours. This starts as soon as the sun comes up. And then they hang around and they work the garden. I know you can't see. They're further down in the garden. It's full of birds. They're all working the garden. Look at it. They are working the garden already. They're coming in for their water. I've even got a hummingbird that just popped in my face just now to see what I was doing. They're used to me. They know I come out in the morning, have my coffee. So that's my video for today. I just wanted to show you how important it is to get a water feature in there. And it doesn't cost you really anything. Yes, if you want to go get yourself a fancy one, it's going to cost. But you know, I picked this one up at the thrift store for under $25. I picked the other one up with the ball at a thrift store for under 20 bucks. I think I paid like 15. I can't remember anymore. And then the other ones, the rock one on the stump there, I bought that at the store. That was one of my first ones for like 10 bucks. So you can find a cheap one and you can look around, but get yourself a bowl. Nice, you know, go get a nice bowl. Get yourself some, you know, one of the solar powered ones and just drop it in there and let it do its thing. You can put water out there that's not moving, but they tend to come to water that's moving better. They hear it, they like it, they prefer it. I mean, look at all the birds. These birds are working for me. These are my workers. And that's what you want. You want them to come in, have nature work for you, do what you need. See, they're all hanging around now because they're going to eat now. Let them come in, do what you need them to do. You just give them a little water and the rest they'll do on their own. So with that, I guess I'm supposed to say like and subscribe, please. Tell me what more you want me to put up and I'll try. Going to do more on wood chips, more on gardening. I'm going to see how the winter goes here. And maybe a little bit on what I cook. Yes, the gardeners are in across the hill and echoes because we're in a canyon. And I guess that's it. So don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.